Today, on the auspicious occasion of the award ceremony, we would like to honor our honorable chief guest, Mr. Mayank Jalan, who is Managing Director and Chairman of Keventer's Agro Limited. Our Vice Chancellor, Sir, Professor Dr. Shubhrata Kumar De, will be felicitating him with Vivek Jyoti Samman Lifetime Achievement Award. I would request, Sir, to please do the honors. A very good morning to everyone. I am Natasha Chatterjee Verma, Assistant Professor, Department of English, Swami Vivekananda University, and I welcome you all to the auspicious program Vivek Jyoti Samman Lifetime Achievement Award, organized by the IIC cell, that is Institutions Innovation Council cell of Swami Vivekananda University, Kolkata. Yes, we have gathered here today to honor a very renowned personality in the field of entrepreneurship. He is none other than Mr. Mayank Jalan, who is Director and Chairman of Keventer's Agro Limited. Sir, we are extremely privileged to have you among us, and we will like to take a short interview, conversation, and so the first thing that I will be like to ask you is, how are you feeling on being honored with Vivek Jyoti Samman Lifetime Achievement Award?
It is an incredible honor, first of all. Let me thank you, let me thank your esteemed university for choosing someone as young as me for a Lifetime Achievement Award. I firmly believe that my life or my journey in entrepreneurship is still a work in progress. Usually, when a Lifetime Achievement Award is given, that means I should hang up my boots. It's probably a few years too early, but I'm extremely honored that you have chosen me and you recognized whatever little work and whatever little progress I've been able to make in the last few years. Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir. It's actually our honor. And, sir, uh, what ups and downs you must have faced to reach over here? If you can please share with your experience with us so that our students can draw motivation from your success story.
If an entrepreneur has to really start describing his ups and downs, it will probably take days. Entrepreneurship is not a destination, it's a journey. And in that journey, I don't think I have met a single entrepreneur in my entire life who I've shared life stories with that hasn't seen his share of bad times and good times. Good times will come, and so will bad times. But I think the most important message for the youth, and that's something which I've constantly tried to reinforce everywhere I go, especially to children who are still studying and who desire to take up entrepreneurship in later years, is don't give up. Bad times are going to come. Bad time is a reality. You will get punched, you will get knocked down, you will feel that you cannot make it into a success, nothing is happening. uh, you know there's an old saying that we say in Bengal ki আর কি হবে জানি না কিচ্ছু হবে না আর কি করবো. But the moment that you start saying these things is the time when you're actually giving up, and the day that you start to give up mentally, you will not be a success. you know uh, Success is not something which is a constant in your life. It'll come, it'll go away, it'll come again. And it's important to just be at it. If you've decided that this is my journey, if you've decided that I want to make this into a success, however big and however small, and whatever happens, just don't give up, keep fighting.
Absolutely, sir. And, sir, who is your role model? Do you have any role model?
I draw inspiration from practically everyone that I see around me. Obviously, I have to mention my father. I've grown up from a very young age seeing my father work 18, 20 hours a day. He started off with scratch. I was fortunate enough to get some platform because of all the hard work that he had done. But if I was to talk about role model, I would not be able to name one person. Every person that I've interacted with, whether it be a farmer, whether it be a retailer, whether it be a thela wala, or whether it be, a billionaire businessman from various countries, there's so much to learn. There's incredible amount of wealth of knowledge that all of these people have. So I draw inspiration from everyone that I meet. Every single time that I'm out there and I'm interacting and I'm meeting people, I just come back re-energized, thinking, wow, there's so much to learn from this person. Recently, last week, I met a Bengali gentleman who's running a very successful business, and we spent about 1.5 hours talking about his business, and it was just remarkable how he, from a professional job, for 15 years he was in a PSU company, and he left that company and he started something really small, and now today he has a 600 crore turnover. There's just so much that man can inspire, and he's so unassuming, he's so humble. So, like this, I can tell you about numerous incidents. So, I draw inspiration every day from my colleagues, from the people who we work with, my customers, people like yourselves, academics, and I think learning is the only constant in my life. I have never stopped being a student, to be honest. I still feel like a student. As I said earlier, I'm relatively young. So I think my journey as a student is still ongoing, and I'm still learning from all my mentors and all the seniors and juniors around me.
Sir, have you come across any one person or more than one person who have actually helped you in your journey or they have inspired you in any way to progress?
There are 1,600 people in Keventer Agro today, and every single one of them has helped me prosper, has helped me along the journey. I think it would be unbecoming of me if I actually do not call them out to this question. Every single colleague that I have in Keventer, doesn't matter what post and doesn't matter what he does, they have made this company into what it is today. They have helped me, they have supported me, they have guided me, they have corrected me, and I think the credit of whatever we are today actually goes to every single Keventarian out there, every single colleague of mine that have helped build this organization.
So, was there any particular incident that actually triggered in you this passion for entrepreneurship?
Yeah, so actually, a very funny story. I'm a mechanical engineer by education. I did my engineering from UCL in London, and I did get a job offer from Goldman Sachs. I was hoping to be an investment banker, and I did get the job. And when my father heard about it, he summoned me to Calcutta. So within 24 hours, I had to just leave everything that I had in London, and I just came back, and I was very convinced that a month or maybe 2 months, I'll be able to convince my father, and I'll go back and do at least 2, 3 years of a job, and then see how life takes me. I came back, and my father is a very strict disciplinarian. So for the first week, I was just at home, and then one day in the morning, he turned around and he said that you're an engineer. I said, no, I'm not an engineer, but I've done engineering. So he said, okay, then why don't you go to the factory and see what's happening? So this factory, as a background, was where we made fruity in Barashat, very close to your university. And I had gone to this factory from the time I was 6 years old. So all the workers there, I have played football and cricket with them. I've eaten there. I've spent picnics and many days as a child there. And I had this vivid imagery of this factory, of a happy place, of a place where I spent the happiest days of my childhood. And I still remember the first day when I entered the factory. I was almost brought to tears because it was unkept, it was shabby, weed growing everywhere, wild grass going everywhere, unkept, dirty. And then I started walking around the factory, and all of these workers there, who I've known as a child, as a 6 year old little boy, I saw their faces, and they were all, completely devastated. nobody had any passion left. Nobody, it was just like a gloom and doom, and I really didn't know what's going on. But everybody in that factory was really sad. And anyway, so a few weeks I went there and I tried to figure out. And basically, the company was making huge losses. It was a very small company then, and I'm a very hot-blooded, khuddal kind of a guy. If that's I don't know the English translation, but so what I figured out is that we had a whole host of professional management who had run the company down to the ground and who were not interested in doing anything. And so my father asked me what we should do because we're making huge losses. And I told him that, look, if you can't sell fruity and make money, we will never make money in our entire life. And he got really angry with me because I was still 22 years old. I was a baby. And he said, do you think you know better than all these guys? I said, I do. So he said, what do you want? I said, give me 3 years. If I can turn this company around, it's mine. If I can't, I'll go back. I have a job offer. I'll get a job. But for 3 years, this is mine. And I don't want any interference. I don't want any money from you. I don't want anything else from you. So, in that exuberance, my father fired the entire top management of the company overnight. And there I was as a 22-year-old, didn't know what to do. But there was something inside me that ignited it, that I have to do it. And as we went along, the purpose of me, working and building whatever I did, or whatever little I have done, and whatever more I have to do, is for all my people. Um, their families run because of this company. Their children get educated because of this company. Their livelihoods depend on this company. And the responsibility that it puts on my shoulder, and the joy that I get from fulfilling this responsibility, is, I cannot ask for anything better in my life. I honestly telling you that I don't get any joy from anything else except seeing my people happy, from seeing my company prosper and seeing my company go up every year. So I really don't. I know this might sound very cliche, but honestly speaking, for me, money is not a driver. It's not about the cars or the houses. That's what is portrayed in entrepreneurship, in media. That is what people see in movies and from outside. But if your purpose is limited to only money, at some point of time you will lose your passion. But when that passion is ignited in your mind and in your heart for a greater cause, and whatever that greater cause is, for some people I've met, the greater cause is serving the customers. For some people it is their employees. For some people it is social good. For some people like yourselves, it's educating young, fragile minds. That is what leads to a person being successful, at least in my opinion. As I keep on saying, I'm still very young, I'm still learning. Uh, Please don't take what I say as the gospel truth. This is my experience, and this is what I have learned. It's worked for me, and I hope it will work for you.
Sir, your story is really very inspiring for today's youth. Sir, please let us walk through your journey of Keventer's Agro.
That's a long story. You don't have so many hours, but
Just
uh,
briefly.
so briefly, if I was to say, there's a joke around the office that if I ever write a memoir of my career, the title of the book should be 10,000 Things Not to Do in Business. So my journey has been full of mistakes. It's But every single mistake I made, I'm proud of it. I wear it on my shoulder like a proud badge, and I would urge all of you that whenever you make a mistake, be proud of it, because unless you make mistakes, you don't learn, and unless you learn, you don't move forward. So, not getting into the details because it's a very, very long and a lot of anecdotes that I can share with you. But my journey in Keventer, I'm happy to say, has been of a lot of mistakes and overcoming those mistakes and moving forward in life.
Okay, sir. Sir, is there anything that you know now, the experience that you have gathered now, if you were at that point of time when you started, if you were having this wisdom or this experience, have you have done something
See,
differently?
hindsight is always 2020. You can always go back and say that যদি আমি এটা দেখতাম, আমি এটা করতাম, আমার আইডিয়া এসেছিল একটা অ্যামাজনের মতন অ্যাপ করবার জন্যে, যদি আমি করতাম আজকে আমিও অ্যামাজন হতাম, আমি ফ্লিপকার্ট হতাম. See, that's, we waste too much time in our past. What's the point?
That's true.
There's no point of going back and saying that যদি আমার বাবা এটা হতো, যদি, if I would have taken sports and if I would have done training under Madan Lal for cricket, আজকে আমি ইন্ডিয়ান ক্রিকেট টিমের জন্য what's the point? It's gone. It's past. Whatever happened, happened. I'm very proud of what journey I've had, which I said is full of mistakes. There's not a single thing about my past that I would change, because all those things have actually brought me to where I am today. And hopefully all the experiences that I have today and tomorrow will help me in the coming years. So I don't really look in the past. I don't sit in the past and I don't think about, oh, I could have done this differently. Of course, a lot of things would have been done differently, but it didn't. It didn't happen. That is finished. Learn from that. Do it today. Don't make the same mistakes today. That is important.
Very true, sir.
Make
Sir-
new mistakes, but don't make the same old mistakes.
Sir, what advice will you give to someone who is trying to become an entrepreneur? And according to you, what are the skills that a good entrepreneur must possess?
So if you want to be a good entrepreneur, first of all, you have to be ready to lose your sleep. I don't remember the last time that I slept really well. I'm saying this with a lot of gravity. Everybody in the media, or when you see a entrepreneur, or you see a very successful businessman, whether it is Mr. Ambani or Steve Jobs, or you see the glamour. You see these fancy cars, you see maybe business class or first class tickets or private jets, you see big houses. But what you don't see is that that person is on the job 24/7. My work never stops. Whether it is at 3 in the morning, 10 in the morning, 10 in the night, 1 in the morning, I might not be physically in my office. I might not be physically on my computer, but my brain is always ticking. So number one is, do not think that entrepreneurship is easy. It's one of the most difficult journeys that you will ever have in your life. And in that journey, you will fail many times. You'll never be a success from first day. Like I said earlier, when you fail, shrug it off, get up, fight again. So, secondly, you need to have a very, very, very strong gut. What do I mean by that? If you're not very decisive, and if you're always very confused, let me give you an anecdote. I've met many young boys who come to me for mentorship, or who come and take advice. And the first thing is, भैया कोई काम बताइए मैं क्या करूं. मैं सोच रहा था ये भी कर लूं, वो भी कर लूं, इसमें बहुत बढ़िया अपॉर्चुनिटी है, इसमें है. These boys are never going to find a direction. It's fine to dabble and explore various opportunities in the beginning, but you are in middle of one opportunity, but then you're looking for something else. You are being guided by your peers on what you should be doing and you should not be doing. You're getting influenced by what is the fact. There was a period of 6 months where I was on this program on TV, like a Shark Tank, and we were trying to mentor young entrepreneurs from Bengal. And 90% of the pitches that we saw was about creating an app. Why? Peer pressure. So what I mean by you need to have a strong gut is that if in your gut you feel that this is the right line for me, don't listen to anyone. Just go for it. You always say this gut feel. For that gut feel to really come and make itself useful in your life, you need to have a strong gut. You need to have that conviction. If you do not have that conviction, if you get influenced very easily, you will not become an entrepreneur. Yes, you might fail. You will fail. Let me put it this way. You will fail. But then you try something else. But while you're committed to something, while you're trying to actually go and reach to a certain milestone, you are getting influence ki দেখো ওকে তো এত বড় ভ্যালুয়েশন হয়ে গেল, ও এত টাকা নিয়ে নিল এই equity থেকে ওখানে থেকে. Just stay focused. People will come and go. People will give you advice. I have heard it so many times in my life. ये कर लो वो कर लो ऐसे हो जाएगा. But one thing that I've never lost is my focus, my gut feel. I know what I'm doing is going to get me there. I'm going to be at it until the time I do not reach my destination. I'm not going to give up, however long it takes. And entrepreneurship is a very slow story. Please, please, please do not get influenced or misguided that in 6 months you can become a billionaire and a crorepati and do this thing. Entrepreneurship is about every day, every month, every year, slowly, slowly, slowly chipping away. Only then you can become a very successful businessman.
So, what is your definition of success?
Definition of success is actually very personal. There is no one definition of success.
I just want to know your perspective in this.
So there are certain goals that I have personally set for my organization, where I want to make sure that Keventer and products from the house of Keventer reach 1.2 billion Indians. Today we reach about 300 million people. So over the next 15, 20 years, all I want to make sure is that 1.2 billion Indians every single day is having something from my house to eat. Now, what number that is, I don't know. I don't want to put a number like 10,000 crores, 50,000 crores. These are all, these numbers don't make any sense because every time you reach that number, your goal shifts. So, for me, that's my ambition. That's what I'm working towards. Trying my best, and I will not give up till the day I reach there, however long it takes.
So, how conducive is the environment for food processing industry in West Bengal and in India also, and what are the job opportunities that
It's incredible. Think about it. 1.2 billion Indians are going to eat every day.
yes.
Means, think about it. 1.2 billion people are going to eat every day. You're living in a country which has been blessed by God, and you can grow anything you want in this country. I mean, what bigger opportunity that you want more than that? I don't think there's any industry which will give you a bigger opportunity than food processing in the coming years. It's just about a game of patience. It takes a slow, slow, slow growth. It's not a get rich quick scheme. You have to grind it out every single day. Means, and to be honest, I think West Bengal, the industrial climate in West Bengal, and the changes that we've seen over the last 10, 11 years is absolutely incredible. আমি সত্যি একটা কথা বলবো আপনাকে. One thing which I have, I treat myself as a Bengali. I've grown up here. My Bengali is better than my Hindi. I have more Mach and Bhat than, Gatta and whatnot. And আমাদের বাঙালে একটা বড় প্রবলেম আছে, and এটা unique to Bengal. We love criticizing ourselves. We are not proud of ourselves. এইখানে তো কিছু হবে না, কি হবে, ছাড়ো, কি হচ্ছে দেখো. When have you actually gone to a chai adda and heard 4 people saying, এই দেখো কত ভালো কাজ হয়েছে এখানে, এই দেখো রাস্তাটা কত ভালো হয়ে গেছে? You're talking about your universities in Barakpur, Kalyani Expressway. Don't you see the difference in that road? I have traveled that road many times. When you're coming on Jessore Road, haven't you seen how Jessore Road has expanded? Haven't you seen the lights that have been put up? Do you land in Calcutta and see slums and shanties like you do in Bombay? Do you? No. But have you heard anyone say this? No.
Nobody will appreciate.
This is something which we have to change as Bengalis. We have to start appreciating what we have. We are living in a state which is blessed by God. 6 agroclimatic zones. We just sow the seeds and it grows in Bengal. We don't have to toil. We have such fertile soil. We have water everywhere in the state. We are probably one of the only states where we don't even have to think about electricity. Load shedding kya hota hai, I don't know. Do you know that in Maharashtra, if you're running an industrial factory, by law you have to shut down for 2 or 3 days because there's no power? When have you heard that in Bengal? But we just don't know how to appreciate what we have. But আমাদের ওটাই কি একবার কি আছে পর নিন্দা পরচর্চা পর চর্চা পর নিন্দা that has become so imbibed into us that if somebody stands in public and says দেখো এত ভালো কাজ হয়েছে চারজন এসে ওকে মারবে এই তুমি এইটা আছে এই কি হয়েছে কিছু হলো না Bengal is destined for the future. We are living in a land which has been blessed by gods themselves. We are living in we're living amongst people who have such talent in whatever field, whether it's in literature, whether it's in science. Look at the talent that you have around us. Just we need to change our attitude that yes, in Bengal it can happen and we will make it happen, and you will see that Bengal will be one of the best states in the country in the coming years when it comes to industrialization.
Sir, Keventer is already on the pinnacle of success, but still, what are your plans for the coming 5 years? Where you want to see Keventer?
So Keventer is not on the pinnacle of success. Keventer is a work in progress. It's starting up. Number is all relative. For someone, 10 is big. For someone, 1,000 is a starting point. So basically, we have very simple fundamentals that we follow. That we have to get a CAGR of top line growth of about 20-24% year on year on a long term basis. So that is what we like to focus on. That are we being able to generate a 20-24% CAGR growth? So that's really where we're going to be, not in just the next 5 years, but our plan is to keep growing at 20-24% for the next 20 years.
Okay, sir. Sir, how we can bridge the gap between academia and industry, and how we can actually upskill the students so that they can become more employable, more industry ready? What
Obviously, you have just taken the first step. I mean, I've just been speaking to your vice chancellor, and he was appraising me of the thinking of doing courses in collaboration with industry, doing practical training. So these are the first steps that have to be taken, and I think a lot has changed over the last 10-15 years in India. So I do go to a lot of universities, IITs, IIMs, and earlier where industry was like a pariah or was not really given that due respect in academics or by academicians, I think that has changed. And as that change is coming in, you will see a gradual interlinking between industry and academics, which will make young boys and girls, readily employable, and we don't have to spend time and money on retraining them.
Sir, what is your message for our university? And while delivering the message, if you can please take the name of our university, that is Swami Vivekananda University.
So it's really incredible that the Swami Vivekananda University has come up in 2019. I'm sure the first 2 years has been challenging with the pandemic, and somewhere emotionally I feel connected to it because it's in my para. I have practically grown up in Barashat, in Nilganj, in my factory. So আপনারা যে ইউনিভার্সিটি আছে ও আমার পাড়ায় আছে, তো একটা নিজের মতন ফিল হচ্ছে. I would wish Swami Vivekananda University all the best in the coming years. I can commit to you that you will have all the support from Keventer as the local industry there. Whatever we can do to help you, your boys, your girls, to make sure that they can get hands-on training, or they can progress and they can do factory visits. I'm more than happy to commit to that, and wish you all the best. You're doing a really noble job. Any university or any institution, you're taking children at the fulcrum of their lives, and you're really creating their foundation for the future. And all my teachers who taught me when I was in school and college, I still have a lot of respect for them, and I still remember what they have taught me, and what they taught me is actually what I became. So that responsibility that you have in Swami Vivekananda, I'm sure you're fulfilling it really well, and I wish you all the best.
Thank you so much, sir. I would like to thank you for honoring this event on behalf of my university. And, sir, we are really grateful for your precious time. With this is Natasha signing off.
Thank you.